Debt. Just hearing that word can make your heart race. We all hear the horror stories. People drowning in bills, crazy interest rates that never seem to end, and credit cards spiraling out of control. It feels like debt is a monster that comes out of the shadows to devour your future. But is debt always a villain? What if I told you debt can actually help you build wealth if you handle it the right way? Stick around because I'm going to show you how to turn debt from foe into friend. So, what is debt really? At its core, debt is simply borrowed money. You get cash or resources now with a promise to pay back later, usually with a little extra that's interest. It's basically a deal. Use today, repay tomorrow. Think of debt like renting money. Imagine borrowing fuel from a friend to drive to town. You owe them not just the fuel back, but a small extra as a thank you. That thank you is interest. Debt isn't magic or a trap on its own. It's a resource. And like any resource, it's all about how you use it. Next, we'll see how the wealthy make debt their resource. Let's talk about the big players. How do rich folks use debt? They use it as leverage. In simple terms, leverage means using borrowed money to boost your investment. Imagine a lever lifting a giant rock. Just a small force moves a big weight. Many real estate investors use mortgages to buy property. They pay a bit of money each month plus interest. But if the property's value goes up or it earns rental income, they come out ahead. Say you buy a flat with a mortgage. Your tenant's rent might cover the loan and still leave profit in your pocket. After a few years, if you sell that flat for more than you owe, you pocket the difference. That's using debt to make more money. The rich do this worldwide. In some countries, entrepreneurs might take a bank loan to expand their business or invest in new technology, hoping the profits beat the loan cost. In the US or Europe, billionaires take loans to acquire companies or invest in oil fields. The key idea? If you can borrow at 5% interest and generate 10% returns, that extra 5% is pure gain. Sounds good, right? The wealthy don't fear debt. They use it to multiply their opportunities. Of course, it takes knowledge and careful planning to avoid risk. But done right, debt can act like a catapult, launching your money further than it could go on its own. Now let's look at the flip side. How does debt create opportunity? Opportunity often needs capital, money to invest. But waiting to save up can mean missing out. With debt, you get that capital today. Imagine a student who dreams of a university education. Without student loans, they might work for years just to save tuition, missing out on learning and networking. With a loan, they study now, graduate, get a better job, and repay from their higher salary. In this way, debt unlocks career opportunities. Or consider a young entrepreneur who spots a great chance to start a business, maybe a new mobile app or a food delivery service. Without any savings, the idea might die before it starts. But with a small loan, they can hire a developer or rent a small office and seize the moment. If the business takes off, that loan pays for itself many times over. Debt is like fueling a car's engine. It gives you that extra push to get where you want to go faster. Say a smallholder farmer in Nigeria borrows for seeds and fertilizer before the rainy season. With those resources, his crop yield might double. When he sells the harvest, he easily repays the loan and has profit left. Without that borrowed boost, he might only have a small harvest. The real opportunity cost of not using debt? Maybe years of waiting while inflation whittles down your savings? $1 today might buy more than the same dollar in 5 years. Debt helps you make the leap sooner, potentially ahead of those price hikes or competitors. All right, now let's get practical. What are some debt strategies that actually work? Here are a few tips to make debt work for you. Borrow for growth. Only use debt to invest in assets that will grow or produce income. Buying property to rent out, funding a degree that leads to a higher paying job, or taking a loan to buy inventory for a bustling market stall are examples of good debt. Avoid borrowing for things that lose value quickly, like flashy cars or gadgets that gather dust. Match terms to purpose. If it's a long-term goal like owning a home or getting an education, consider long-term loans or mortgages with lower interest. For short-term needs, say a quick loan to buy wholesale goods for the holiday season, use short-term loans and pay them off fast. This keeps costs manageable. Shop for low interest. Interest is the extra cost of borrowing. Even a 1 to 2% difference in interest rates can save you thousands over time. Always compare lenders. Banks, microfinance institutions, and fintech apps all compete to give you better deals. If you already have expensive debt, look into consolidating it or refinancing to a cheaper rate. Have a clear payoff plan. Before you borrow, know exactly how you'll pay it back. Will the money come from increased business profits, a future bonus at work, a sale of an asset? This plan keeps you focused and avoids nasty surprises when bills come due. Think of it like a roadmap. You'll know exactly where you're going and how you'll get there. Don't overextend yourself. Only borrow what you can reasonably repay. Just because you can borrow more doesn't mean you should. Remember that wealthy investors often use modest amounts of leverage relative to their investments. They don't bet the farm on one loan. Starting small and repaying quickly builds trust and opens doors for larger opportunities later. Those strategies keep debt working for you instead of working against you. Think of it like using smart fertilizer on your money to help it grow, rather than overwatering and drowning the plant. By the way, if you're getting value out of this, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Trust me, your future self will thank you for taking charge of your financial game plan. And hey, drop a comment below with any questions about debt or money. We read everyone and love helping you out. Debt can go very wrong if you're not careful. Here's what usually happens when debt backfires. High interest traps. Things like credit cards or payday loans can charge sky-high interest. If you only make minimum payments, your balance barely goes down. It's like pushing a boulder up a hill. The harder you push, the more it seems to roll back. Many people get stuck in this trap without even realizing how much they owe. Spending on what doesn't pay back. Borrowing to buy things that don't make you money is dangerous. Imagine taking a loan to buy a big TV and a fancy sofa. Nice, right? But those items won't help you earn cash. Meanwhile, the loan and interest still need to be paid. That's when debt turns sour. No backup plan. Sometimes people borrow hoping a quick fix will work without planning. If the job loss happens or the business deal fails, suddenly there's no money to pay the loan. Financial stress skyrockets, relationships strain, and credit scores plummet. Too much too fast. Even a great business can stumble if overloaded with debt. It's like a growing teenager eating too much junk food. Eventually something's going to give. A business or person needs balance. Taking on multiple big loans at once can topple anyone, even the most confident entrepreneur. Debt turns into a monster when we misuse it or ignore it. Like playing with fire, useful for cooking when monitored, but disastrous if you let it rage. That's why we have to be smart and cautious. So you want to use debt wisely? Then you need to earn lenders' trust. That trust is called your credit worthiness or credit score. Basically, it's your financial reputation. Here are some ways to build it. Pay on time, every time. This is the golden rule. Whether it's a loan payment, a credit card bill, or any installment, paying even a day late can hurt your credit reputation. Consistent on-time payments are like trophies in your financial record. They show you're reliable. Keep balances low. If you have a credit card or existing loan, try not to max it out. Using only about 30% of your credit limit shows discipline. It's like showing you can borrow a lot but only use what you need, then repay it promptly. Lenders see this as a big green flag. Start small and grow. If you're new to credit, begin with something small, a personal loan or a low-limit credit card. Use it carefully and pay it off. Over time, this builds your credit history. And soon, banks will trust you with bigger loans. Check your credit report. Many countries have credit bureaus that track your borrowing history. Get your credit report now, and then check for mistakes or to see how you're doing. The more you know, the more you can improve. Building credit is like building a friendship. You show up on time, keep your promises, and eventually, people trust you more and more. Over time, your credit score becomes a bridge to better financial opportunities, like loans at great rates. Stay responsible and watch that trust grow. Debt is not inherently evil. In fact, it's one of the oldest financial tools in the book. When used wisely, debt can help you build a home, start a company, or get an education, achievements that might otherwise be out of reach. The key is respect and understanding. Know what you're borrowing for and have a plan to repay. So don't fear debt. Respect it. Use it with discipline, and it can become a stepping stone toward your dreams. From students in Africa to entrepreneurs in New York, This principle holds true. Smart debt unlocks opportunities, while reckless debt shuts doors. If you found this helpful, give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more financial tips. And let me know in the comments how you plan to use debt to your advantage. Remember, the best time to start is now. You've got this.